Let me tell you that in 1992, I was district magistrate of Belgaum district.
Acha.
In comparison to other districts of northern Karnataka, Belgaum is more prosperous. The districts, which were really, backward, suffering with poverty, were Bijapur, Raichur, Gulbarga. I recall in 1992, there was a huge drinking water problem in these districts. And in order to quench the thirst of the people, villagers particularly, Government of Karnataka made a request to Maharashtra government to release water from Koina Dam so that the water flows into Krishna River and finally it reaches these districts and that water can be utilized for drinking water purposes. I was given direction by the state government that make sure that this water is not lifted en route in a district for any irrigation purposes. So for almost 10 days, I along with my staff and police, just watching this one and ensuring that the water flows over there.
But why the police?
Police because,
were there some tensions
yes,
and
suppose
local...
any untoward incident takes place, they should be there to, help us.
Okay.
So I had seen that kind of scenario. So in 1999, when the government appointed me as managing director of Krishna Bhagijal Limited, this was a special purpose vehicle formed by Government of Karnataka to implement Upper Krishna Project. This project was basically intending to irrigate about 17-18 lakh acres of land and provide drinking water to thousands and thousands of villages. When I got this opportunity, the memory of 1992 came to my mind. I said, now this is an opportunity for me to do my work. And I dedicated myself to that and I was very fortunate. I would say that my colleagues, my political executive, the Chief Minister himself, Mr. S. M. Krishna, and earlier to that, Mr. J. S. Patel, they all provided full support and we completed it. So we have now reached a stage where the drinking water problem is completely gone. All villages are getting drinking water supply, from this reservoir of Almati, which has been, constructed. And prosperity has come to that region.
Yes.
So much so, places like Indi, Sindhigi used to be a God-forsaken place. They have really become very prosperous. Bijapur has emerged as the biggest fruit-producing district in the whole country. So nothing gives me, more pleasure than seeing, happiness on the face of people of those districts and the kind of prosperity that has come over there.
Yes, yes. I'd just like to go a little deeper into this because a project of this magnitude, I don't think the decisions would have been easy. I know you're making it sound easy, but conflicts honge, there would be different factions. You mentioned sensitivities with the local. So how does an officer go about winning trust? Because I think if the local people aren't with you, then some of these decisions are seen with a lot of mistrust, with a lot of lens of exploitation. So what were some of those trust building measures that you undertook?
See, this project had three major components. One was land acquisition and rehabilitation of the people who are going to be affected by the project. The second was, of course, the construction of infrastructure facilities, the Almati Dam and all these major canals, laterals, series of canals. And the third one was developing those lands for receiving this water for irrigation. What is called command area development. If you look at the magnitude of land acquisitions and
it was lakhs of acres.
Rehabilitation. You'll be surprised to know that the number of families, people who had to be rehabilitated, uprooted from their native villages and rehabilitated at some other place, was 4 times bigger than Sardar Sarovar project.
4 times bigger than the Sardar Sarovar project.
Yes.
So the scale is massive that we're talking here. Yes.
We thought that we should First of all, these people are all going to be inconvenienced. They are being uprooted from the native place. As it is, they will be suffering. So we should give them really fair compensation for their property which are acquiring for the project, for the land that we are acquiring. So we said that all this land acquisition will be done through the consent route. That means we have laid down parameters as to how the land valuation will be done. And then with every farmer, you will be negotiating and ultimately reaching a price which is happily acceptable to the farmer. So all the land acquisition that was
But
done.
wasn't there a risk of concerned parties exploiting? Because today when you talk about acquisition, we hear so much of middlemen coming and creating exploitation. So how did you bring about a transparency in the process?
I must say the kind of ground rule that was set by the government of the day, the importance of the project that was highlighted in everybody's mind. I did not find anybody working for the cross purpose.
Huh.
Even the political leaders cutting across political parties.
Party lines. I think they were aligned to make
They
this.
were aligned to.
It was so historic because
everybody is committed to see that this project ultimately materializes. So as I mentioned to you that we did not want the farmers to be unhappy with regard to the compensation. So therefore, the consent route was followed. And and finally the compensation was paid to them as per the consent given by them. Not a single case went to any court for seeking enhancement of compensations. That is one of the biggest thing that has been done in that project. I had a very committed officer who was looking that portfolio. That was Mr. Dr. S.M. Jamdar. His role was really phenomenal. So I would say that from the political side, we had no issue at all. And because of everybody's support, this was possible that we could do. Another thing, interesting thing I will tell you that in order to expedite the decision making, the government had constituted this special vehicle which I mentioned called Krishna Bhagya Nigam Limited, in short KBJNL. The chief minister was the chairperson of this company.
Okay.
And all senior people who were at the decision making level, they were directors. That is the irrigation minister, the chief secretary, the finance secretary, all these people, secretary, chief minister. So idea was that instead of anything relating to this project going into the secretariat and then being processed in the file, in a company kind of setup, this will be disposed of quickly. And to assist me on the technical front, there is a technical advisory committee comprising of highly acclaimed technical people like K.C. Reddy, Mr. Rudrappa, B.J. Rudrappa. What would happen is that any sub-project of this project would be first taken to this technical advisory committee where all these issues will be discussed threadbare, tenders to be finalized, awarded and finalized. Normal course, these things should go to the KBJNL board for approval, but the chief minister had empowered that you can issue orders and go ahead with implementation and bring this proposal in due course to the board for consideration and ratification. So this was the kind of confidence that was reposed in me by the chief minister, which really helped in expediting the project.
I'm sure. I think you also bring a lot of conviction and a lot of integrity to the purpose. So I'm sure the confidence is both sides for something like this to happen.